Welcome to Industrial Technologies and Services in Ocala, Florida. Whether you're a visitor or a contractor, we appreciate the opportunity to work with you in our operation. We hold environment, health, and safety requirements in high regards, and this brief orientation will outline for you the basics of those requirements. And it will help ensure the safety of all parties involved, including our employees, visitors, and contractors. We strive to provide a safe and healthy workplace for all employees, visitors, and contractors to prevent accidents in our operations. We must conduct our operations in accordance with regulatory, compliance, and corporate requirements relative to environment, health, and safety, and you play a major role in that success. PPE requirements for all personnel, visitors, and contractors in the shop. Safety glasses with side shields are required. There are no open-toed shoes, sandals, or heels on the factory floor. In fact, safety-toed shoes are required on the shop floor. Safety-toed shoes are required to either possess a steel toe or a composite toe cap, but they must be safety-toed to be on the shop floor. And for those without safety-toed shoes, there are temporary slip-over safety-toe shoe covers. Hearing protection is recommended in the shop, but it's required when working in shipping, painting, sandblasting, hydro, and when grinding and welding and fabrication. Respirators are required when spraying in booths, welding inside vessels, and sandblasting. And finally, arc flash protection is required when working with electrical energy sources 220 volts and higher. Hard hats are required when someone is working above you, particularly in the assembly area. And if you have any questions on personal protective equipment, call the EHS manager at 262-728-4644. Should an emergency situation call for an evacuation, an audible and visual alarm will sound. When this alarm is heard, all visitors and employees will immediately evacuate the building using the nearest safe exit to the evacuation assembly signs on the west side of the facility. The west side of the facility is where the front door of the plant is located. Please stay with your plant host or meet them in the assembly area. No one is to re-enter the building until emergency personnel such as the fire department or a member of management has given the all-clear signal. When potentially severe weather is in our area, notification to take shelter is provided to personnel by various methods. They include email, telephone, NOAA weather alerts, or in person depending on how advanced the notification was from the weather officials. When a severe weather warning has been issued, don't leave the building. Instead, proceed in an orderly fashion with your plant host to a designated severe weather shelter area. This is typically restrooms and interior office spaces that don't have exterior windows and are marked with this sign. The biggest danger in a tornado is flying debris, so stay away from exterior windows. Remain in these locations until the all-clear notification is given through the public address system, by phone call from the emergency response coordinator or other employee who has received such notifications. All visitors and contractors are required to wear a visitor badge. This helps ensure site security and will also assist us in accounting for you should there be an emergency situation. Please write firmly and note the date and time accordingly when you complete your badge. Unfamiliar individuals who are not wearing badges will be asked to return to the lobby to get one. Badges are available in the visitor badge log located in the main lobby at the front door. Please note the following visitor safety expectations. Number 1, stand clear of all objects being moved by crane or hoist and remain in view of the operator of the crane and hoist. Never stand beneath a suspended load. Number 2, stay within the designated yellow lines in the aisles. Number 3, observe and obey all safety warnings posted in the plant. Number 4, while in the plant, stop and take extreme care around forklifts and other vehicle traffic. And finally, ask your plant host to show you the plant exits and shelter areas nearest to your location. All exits from the plant are marked with exit signs. Don't bring in any new chemicals into the facility without authorization by the EHS manager. When walking, be alert for trip hazards such as hoses, electrical cords, and floor grates. Visitors, guests, and contractors are absolutely prohibited from touching the equipment, electrical panels, or using any vehicles, cranes, or hoists without express authorization from the EHS manager or the site leader. The entrance of any person carrying a weapon or firearm is prohibited at this facility. And finally, no photographs are permitted unless written permission is obtained from the site leader. This facility is a tobacco-free workplace. Smoking is permitted only in 3 designated areas. No smoking is permitted on the front side of the facility, and we appreciate your cooperation. This document is the company's health, safety, and environmental policy. As you can see, these guiding practices demonstrate industrial technologies and services commitment to operating in a manner that reflects the highest standards of business ethics and integrity. It also meets or exceeds applicable health, safety, and environmental laws and regulations. We are protective of the environment and public health and value innovation and continuous improvement. We manufacture industrial dehydration and filtration equipment of various capacities and capabilities. Such processing can present hazards that require us to consider engineering controls, administrative controls, and PPE controls to minimize safety risks for employees, visitors, and guests. The following slides show some of our processing steps to be aware of. Be sure to note the equipment and personal protective equipment used by our employees. In our warehouse and assembly areas, worker assist vehicles, or waves, are used by our personnel to extend access to areas beyond their reach. If you come across these devices while touring the facility, please stay clear and give the operators room to handle them safely. Our fabrication equipment includes burn tables, presses, and rollers. They are all used to manufacture products for our welded assemblies. Welding is one of our core competencies as a manufacturing company. Here, you see one of our welders with a welding hood, leather gloves, safety-toed shoes. These are all required personal protective equipment specifically for welding activities. Grinding requires due diligence by our welders to assure both their safety and the quality of the products they're manufacturing. Here, our welder is wearing a full face shield with chin guard, hearing protection, leather gloves, and safety-toed shoes. A sandblast is often required to prepare our products to receive paint. Note the supplied air respirator in use here. We use various types of material handling equipment in the facility. Here we see a cherry picker being utilized to load bulk desiccant into these hoppers for disbursement into our final assemblies. Note their use of eye protection, fall protection, and safety footwear. Here, one of our painters is applying primer to our components for final assembly. Painters are required to use eye protection, hearing protection, respiratory protection, as well as safety-toed shoes to assure their safety during the painting process. During higher voltage electrical assembly and testing operations, arc flash PPE is required to include full face shield and helmet, gloves, lab coat, safety-toed footwear, and an additional barrier to restrict any unauthorized and non-necessary personnel from the area. That wraps up the do's and don'ts for your visit. Once again, we'd like to welcome you to SPX Flow Ocala. Should you have any questions, need additional information, or require clarification, please contact the site EHS manager or your host. Thank you, and have a great day.